This season on Kerr Fatou.
Who is engaging them too?
No.
Fatou.
I am not at liberty to say yes or no.
Oli.
For us, every day is a new opportunity to make sure our first impressions are always our best and to see possibilities on the horizon, to make our facilities and services more accessible and find freedom all around us. With a location proximity to active markets, with a liberal air transportation policy, that daily pursuit is how we turn everyday opportunities for you. For all destination marketing support, customized packages for new existing airlines and operators, and for a highly ranked tourist destination, the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority is here to serve. We regulate air transport, operate and manage BIA technical requirements merged with commercial considerations. We have experienced and well-trained aviation professionals to cater for your needs. For investment opportunities in building airport hotels, shopping malls, playground for children, do contact us on 4472-831, 4472-893. Gambia Civil Aviation Authority. We go beyond daily.
Stewart & Co. Solicitors, a legal excellence firm in London that can help you with all aspects of your legal work. If you are looking at immigrating to the United Kingdom, Stewart & Co. can help you to set up business, buy houses in the UK, and will deal with all your legal works from start to finish.
For all your general immigration work, we can help you with that as well. If you're applying for any form of visa, whether student visas, settlement visas, marriage visas, or a child wanting to come to the United Kingdom to settle with the family, we can help you to achieve your goals.
Stewart & Co. Solicitors, a legal excellence firm specializing in conveyancing, immigration, litigation, family law, personal injury, licensing, no win, no fee. Contact us today at www.sk-solicitors.com.
When we touch down, better broke down.
With Gamtel G-Fiber, now you can enjoy super fast internet in gigabytes. G-Fiber is affordable, stable, secured, and accessible to homes, businesses, and enterprises. With Gamtel G-Fiber, the future is speed. Gamtel, creating a brighter future in communication.
All over the world, healthcare workers are in the front line of the fight against COVID-19. Here in the Gambia, they can be found in hospital wards taking care of patients, at hospital hallways cleaning away germs, at press conferences providing information to journalists, in the streets tracing people who came into contact with those who have tested positive for coronavirus. All of these people are soldiers fighting coronavirus on our behalf. The Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry recognizes this sacrifice and is therefore urging all of us to pay tribute to these medical workers by stopping whatever we are doing every 6 p.m. to clap for these frontline soldiers.
Can't do small or big projects with the same dedication and commitment as we do. With a reputation as the leading printing company in the country, when it comes to major projects and innovative solutions, we always deliver in high quality, thus receiving the trust and confidence of our clients. From the moment your order is placed to when it is delivered, we believe in exceeding expectations from the sales manager to the production team, the account manager, and the person delivering your material. We have state-of-the-art equipment and a highly experienced and competent workforce that enables us to deliver top-quality work on time. At reasonable prices, we provide our clients with multiple solutions right from conceptualizing, designing, printing, binding, publishing, and distribution. For all your printing requirements, we are strategically located at the Sankumsila Highway, the Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation. We print what you desire.
Every young Gambian dreams of a university degree. He wants a good paying job after graduation, a pretty wife, and ultimately own a dream home.
What if I can't afford my desired dream home?
And that is why you need to visit Universal Properties.
We specialize in customer satisfaction. We listen to every of our clients' needs when we show the properties to our clients. Before you know it, you hear the client saying,
I like this house.
This is the room that cuts my heart.
And most of the time, they cling to the door, never to let go. Most clients want to close the deal right there. And that is why we always have their contracts in the trunk of our cars. We work at our client's pace. No haggle, no hassle.
We're waiting for you at our office in Caraba Avenue here in the Gambia.
We live in a day and age where technology is creating a world without borders, filled with unlimited potential to improve the lives of the people around us. Innovarex Global Health ushers in a new way of leveling the playing field with increased access to quality healthcare services delivered at your doorstep. Our qualified professionals are equipped with state-of-the-art point-of-care testing technology to conduct tests such as kidney function, liver function, electrolyte tests, body composition, hemoglobin, A1C, and many more services with the highest efficiency in delivering results. The addition to our flagship Wellness on Wheels, more fondly known as WOW Delivery Service, brings the entire clinical experience full circle. IGH has remained committed to creating the future of healthcare delivery. Gone are the days of sending loved ones outside the country for basic medical services. Innovarex Global Health offers a new peace of mind and takes pride in delivering the quality of care we all deserve.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Kerr Fatou. Badingol ngal bismillah jang. Kerr Fatou ngaminke jang aramisa bi nyinon Kerr Fatou foloti. Kabirin sunkaro banta. Mbalbe kontona salola. I hope ko albe sunta kairo kono. Alnale koro siroke. Sunkaro be kono te borta sunga Kerr Fatou le wairi. Tol ture kundonko sungon konin duada malake so kamara kundonko nyima aning oli. Sunkaro be kono tole Kerr Fatou ke nyima be nyima fanang ba bismillah la Kerr Fatou bar fanang ba fole congratulations ma nyo kuta kutolo mati nyima ba fole congratulations Mrs. Dabo. No botaje bi Kerr Fatou programme to comme nga fu nyamin drok nga luntam balé soto for the first time on Kerr Fatou Dr. Ismaila Ceesay bi nga mira ni ko Dr. Ismaila Ceesay wo manke moy amang jari ka introduce moy Gambia jang bayre ni ko Dr. Ismaila Ceesay hakilo sita University of the Gambia ni ko Dr. Ismaila Ceesay hakilo sita CA kang Citizens Alliance pati kutomi alonko anata banko kang pour ka Gambia no democracy nata banko banko kan patiol siata bare siye keta patioti min keta pati kutol te mi alon ka nata banko kan pour ka gambenol kalmutandi ka gambenol nyinin ka fanan fanayla nyantolo moti ka gambenol nyinin ka karteola woto Dr. Ceesay nge bismillah Kerr Fatou for the first time.
Abarka Fatou bin se wota bake meta plan la kana jang bari always dimale kana na block bari maje sa fututa rek silo yela ja pour ngana jang
pour ngana jang
fana ba congratulate la ba duwala arma kala fututi arma dinken dol soto je din kende balong yentola din kende balong ngati le
okay
but at the same time fanang sa nabe do ko la nyoka university to sa fa ke ma ko an suma naka musu kende bala soto so ala barka mbe mo be kontonna milbe so ko ne pen jube kan mbadi malbe milbe gambia milbe bantala banko to be kontonna ka fale ko bi nada ka kacha anu kacha ni be diala ba
kacha be diala.
In communication, connectivity is everything. We ensure that the links never sleep. Quantities and qualities, all in our data service, providing efficient, reliable voice and data service. We believe if you're not up to speed, then you're going backwards. Communications have to flow as fast as the speed of light. Whatever business you're in, having someone who understands your needs is critical. That is why we just don't offer you technology, we offer you solutions. Enjoy Gamcel's internet broadband anytime, anywhere. Your national operator, Gamcel, Yaibarom.
Kachabe dia, kachabe fanula nyuma. Being a Dr. Ceesay Sotoja.
Ya, to nyalo. Kama ya panyame. Kala kinu ke soro jan sinya jama silo ko kasoto no. So bilang ala yake. Inata jang. Ni ajen ko ngamani ka kan use fanan dok mu molati mi yalo mol ke la mayala bakel. Ni ta dan dela sato to for example be audio pass la nyokan Dr. Ceesay Kotentin. Kanda ka kumol minifo. Ntol buka haji kan dalo min kan atemu mo sifata ka dalo wala kan. Anda kana ke kumati mi ko hasayata ka kuti mi ko wala nyanta ka fo. Bari ni mol be do wala ka ñu hakil mayndo bu ka baynoje anata ke modi mi yalon fa ñame nati calom nka fu ñoo malon anata ke ndo ku ñoti fana
baraka ba ke ñima docteur ni ko docteur Ismaila Ceesay tonya moti je mi malo mi mu docteur ti Gambia kono ni ko docteur Ismaila Ceesay ba fole kare ibe instances nati la jang mi yalon ko docteur yake jang kabri New Gambia keta dol ba fula fang even before New Gambia ay do ko minke university bar ni te ba fula ni juma lon docteur Ismaila Ceesay abota min tol
abarka ba ko woni ngaro kumada baake Ismaila Ceesay to molati to wuluda kombo brikamale fama ka fole ibu Ceesay forest adane do ko kenano forestry forest mi bagamba be itolle allo mbama ka fa hadi contest ate mutti calate no tijenke sanji tansaba kana munte gambe man tijenke dame kabo koyna fo carton fo pakaw nte wuluta brikamale nkuluta brikamale nganna karango beke brikamale especially at the early days ngan nursery school ke brikama kaba fitale nga ara ntara dara although dara nga dara lulu ke ko ntara daro dare kambayle
ko docteur mo man jaan karam to
ko so be anu dara so ustasol kambayle ba niembay fo ngale kana nyine ko de kan city kan samba so mu molti mi alon ko dindiya mi alon ko ni wuluta rural Gambia ikadin yami mbeke ngakele holon nga tata de molale dix de male tata kerem bando lale tata lo nyino la forest o kono len selta saritol kanne enka escape len kata rincho balawto mo lek dole be ka fa funkula ngan kujele bajandi bina kata be motul la nyini balo mu folo bi koni fara so kone kalon ko ke butele so nga obe kele nga primary school ke Brikama primary school common entrance what mono common entrance la sotano bring a common entrance bang nga school apply kata it mono ka choose la before common entrance ning ina takara school jumale mo high school or mansia St. Peter St. Augustine's Gambia High Heritage so ndanga St. Augustine's la choose no Then naranga but mo St. Augustine's la pass mark is 236. Bantala pass mark was 237. One mark extra. Bari bring results all fintita ataramba ma betamadula manna most of makola pour kadun St. Augustine's aning school also. So manna school soto. First become all tawat minna usaronta. So ko nyangata become secondary technical secondary school ko fana manta technical secondary school. So me sirin ko nyoto wala nyamanta rafena ngai ben battery fayola. Game dole be ka fa battery fayo. Nina boy do MD ade mo kapentala de ngatara la shop do ngatara battery fayola je. Woto mo non golf wala be kirin no. So ngatara news la mo be battery fayola. So ben ba mbara tamadula na ta aje ko nakara mo tinyata le we consider almost that whole year manta school. So I decided pour kan samba Sierra Leone. So enke wala nyanke pleno kono to mo ka fa British Caledonian one Friday afternoon 4 o'clock in the Coftan at a Freetown yan samba boarding school. So bring for a Freetown nganna high school be ke jela bring nganna high school bang setana Gambia because bring a high school bang nyanta kata nung Forobe College University bari that time ne fanang kelo nyung fotata nung Freetown Sierra Leone civil war. So bring setana Gambia mbesirin so kono mantra fen na mandu kusoto. So nga decide pour que join army nara fo nga fomolta ko sa min tuta wolon kata ni kata borole folo ka min tes nga wala batuno baro rama fana be nafsiri na fana ko so tamo nung semester kanalon ka bo jamani ka bo dula du kamol inspire ko tubabu du kolbe be wala ton but be ngaje ko silo man soto nga visa apply ka reject ka I-20 soto ka bank statement soto acceptance letter soto from the UK buka sami be makoy la nga dulabe kata ngaje ka mantango bari mboto nga do ko kajang so na friend do bi Amadou Slice e ka fay Slice abeno ami la inspire pour que join army so mbe army call to rek silo na rafinte pour kata Sweden so ndara Sweden wala nya bering frata Sweden mbe like anybody else ndara Sweden at that time you have to follow a process kata le follow kayto nyini ne kayto nyini ta Swedish karang Swedish kare do ko soto e do ko soto do ko ke. So in Sweden I followed that process, but always at the back of my mind, I was a man, I have a very different destiny. And that destiny, I achieved the phrenology ni mankarang. Even though at that time in Sweden, I didn't have any role model. I mean, baby nunji, they are not going to mantara karanga. It was not a society, it was a kind of intellectual society. But for some reason, something was always pushing me. This is your destiny. At some one day, computer samanda, I got sick and tired of do code every year. Kodo dajale na semester, I bangi murung kotenke. Nko is not sustainable. So I decided to go to university in Sweden. My university apply, reject. Ikonyokela Sierra Leonean Form 5 certificate is not enough for kadung a Swedish university. You have to go through the whole process of going to the Swedish college, a full school of 3 years. Then you have a certain maximum mark. Then in our university, waste time all about it. But at some point, something was always pushing me. So I feel I went to that college, I got distinction. So university applied to Stockholm University. Then I did political science from graduate. Being graduate, I was like, no, it's still not enough. What I want to achieve in life, a BSc would not be enough. I need at least a master's. So then I started applying for masters but I want to have the masters always at the back of my mind. At some point, tela londo anyanta Gambia le nafa.
Yeah.
So which means ko nimba nyini la walonga nyini in English. Well, and in fana bachelors, I did both English and Swedish, but na masters nko ngara ke UK because ngara Sweden it's going to be Swedish. But I do always ntengalo ko ntela londo fasi Gambia nafa because ni one it's aman nafa. So I applied for universities in the UK, universities center, then Edinburgh University, all day in last year. I went there to do my masters in African politics. Being Abang, I had other options. The option was to go back to Sweden to work or to work in the UK because I had the status to do that.
Yeah.
But in Kono, after many years living abroad, at least I have a master's. Let me go and see how that can benefit the Gambia.
Yeah.
But how? At that time, the environment was not conducive. We had dictatorship in the Gambia. And I didn't want to work within government. And then I thought, why is the best place? Let me go to where the young people are because we need to prepare ourselves post dictatorship.
Yeah.
It was inevitable. We cannot just be in that thing forever. And now, Banta, we need the crop of human resources. We need to equip our young people for the task ahead of nation building. So where can I do that at the university? Then I applied for the university. And when I applied, I came home at that time.
At that time,
2009.
2009.
When I came home.
Wow. Okay.
I started working at the university as a lecturer, political science. Then it was very difficult.
But why the university though?
The fulfillment I got was not the money aspect of it. It was what I can give the country. It's what I can do to prepare the country for the development. That was the purpose. Because at that time, when I started UTG, they were paying me basic salary was $5,000. Wow. When I started, when I even received my acceptance letter from UTG, so if you put all the allowances, I was about $12,000-13,000. It wasn't enough because I sound so drunk from back to work every month was going. I was really struggling. At some point, Sutol Fonka Sira Mialonka for is it worth it? Nga sila po suda balite of susural bekin na ila kaspo Fonka bande watru lika struggle. Watru even struggle to get fuel to go to work. And at some point, but no, this is a mission. It's not about the money. It's about what can we do to make sure the country is ready for development. And that is why I went to the university, because that is the lab where we have to create this new Gambian. And this new Gambian, Niba create la, we have to instill in this new Gambian certain values and certain knowledge ability need la for this task ahead. Ni want that then the whole Gambia project will fail. So wala nanta university though, but not for anything else. So mbije nga teaching KJ 2-3. It was difficult though. Almost all in the political science department. At that time, it was very unpopular to teach political science in this country. And Dr. Sajat Tala and Fred also in Nigeria. But because of Kunja, I was doing things that, in fact, lecturer Dolby from all the ostracized me, organizing seminars, talking about Jammeh's human rights violations, talking about corruption in the country. And it was difficult at that time. But yet we were doing it because perhaps maybe because we were naive as well. We were young. We didn't think of the consequences. Mom family sort of. So more worried because more menka one fang. Yeah, but I was really adamant about that. But partly also because Jammeh knew what was happening at the university. But I think he was smart enough to know he's no threat as long as whatever he's teaching is within the four walls of the university. If you touch him now, you give him that platform for people to know exactly what he was teaching because it's all over the news. So I think that is why partly because of luck. But the things we are doing there, the literature we are circulating at the university, the courses we are teaching in Gambian contemporary Gambian politics, and the seminars in Gambian organized on a weekly basis were all anti-Jammeh. And in fact, students were even emboldened. They were saying things because I'm putting these students' lives in danger because so I teaching KJ for 2011, 12. Then I decided, still I think I need to go and get more knowledge. Then when I applied for a PhD, again the same university, my alma mater, Edinburgh University, I was accepted. But still, when I was doing my PhD, I was still coming every 3 months, 4 months at my own expenses to teach certain courses, or sometimes through Skype, just to make sure that the Okonye continue. So bringing a PhD by 2016. I had no choice. Okay, that's it. I'm ready for this. But fortunately, it coincided also with the change at that time. Fortunately, because I PhD in 2016. I had did my Viva in March 2016. I came home April, and then in December, the change happened. So that was a very good coincidence. So it means things were happening. Then I was also ready to join the fray. But when I was in Sweden, I was very active. I was the president of even before I became the president of Gambians living in Stockholm. It's a big organization of 5,000 Gambians. I was also organizing a lot of social activities, and I was well known in Stockholm for that. Well, and when it was time for somebody to take over the presidency of that organization, I didn't tell her, and I was president for 2 years. I transformed it from zero because I abandoned Lano. I had to bring in young Gambian, Swedish Gambians. We transformed it. We worked with the accounts, very structure. Then I left. So when I came back in 2016 also, it was also at the time the staff were disgruntled at UTG. Yes, because of many things. So they were trying to organize themselves in unionism. So Nata, ngatara they had plenary meetings.
Yeah.
So when those meetings were on, I came to join the meetings to how to really organize the executive of the staff association.
Yes,
so my knowledge is political science. I can volunteer to be the IEC chairperson to organize the elections for you, do the nominations and all that. So I went about doing that task. So when I went to distribute the forms so people nominate who they want, even though I'm not supposed to nominate it, but 80% of those who nominated me.
Wow.
So I cannot do it because nobody don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Either you went to nominate for this thing, then you don't have a choice. I thought about it and I accepted. We went for the elections and I won the elections and I was president of the University of Faculty and Staff Association, also for the two-term period.
Okay.
So what 2 terms, so many things happened. We are struggling with 2 things. One, to get legitimacy because we are not accepted by the management at that time because they saw us as rebellious.
Okay.
And 2, also to build the association. So we are grappling with 2 things at the same time. One, to get legitimacy and also to build a brand new association. But fortunately now, it's a very vibrant association. We've handed over. And the one who is there is doing a fantastic job. So basically that's it. And now I'm at the university. I'm still teaching political science. I'm head of the political science department. I also, when I came, I realized the need for Gambians to have a well-capacitated diplomatic corps. That was lacking. So I wrote a proposal to start a new MSc program in international relations and diplomacy. It was accepted, and I started the first program in that university. I'm on the 3rd cohort. The first cohort will graduate last year. The 2nd cohort is on, and the 3rd cohort is on. So that is also ongoing.
The university, if you would compare during Jammeh's time and in B, how would you, what kind of comparison would you give as to management style, as to quality of work, and obviously generally the role the university is playing now compared to before?
The university, when it comes to output of students, we're still graduating the same students. When it comes to input, nothing has changed because we did not embark on any meaningful curriculum reform. Even the Jammeh, or that has not, it's not a political decision.
Yeah.
Now, what we need to understand at the university is that the world is changing and knowledge is changing, and people are start thinking ahead.
Yeah.
What's going to happen in 25 years' time? What kind of jobs will be available? What kind of jobs will we need? And universities does that. That is why sometimes I self-critique. We are not, the products we are selling at the university, are we really selling the right products?
Yeah.
I ask myself that question. If the Gambia will need only 50 economists in the next 10 years, because of retrenchment, because of retirement, because of those who are going to the private sector.
Yeah.
The Gambia public sector will need 50 economists, but UTG is producing, let's say, 500 economists every year. There's a surplus of 450 economists. They cannot be absorbed into the system. They'll be underemployed or unemployed. So we need to start thinking of the kind of courses we are offering. Because unfortunately, UTG is seen as a default option for many young people. You have secondary school bank, Iman Tamano, you have a brother in the UK or a sister who says, "Ta UTG, you're not UTG." But if you're not UTG, you don't know. Just because you have somebody to pay the fees, just because you have nothing to do, you're not UTG. And you may teach development studies. Why? Because you don't need maths. Because your maths field, you don't need maths. So, development studies. You don't even know why you are doing development studies.
Yeah.
Yet have 4 years development studies, so what? You're not employable. Or physics. Why? Because Ministry of Education is giving scholarships to those who are doing physics. Even though you don't have any passion about, because you have physics, so you have free scholarship. Then you have bank, so what? That is why youth unemployment is too much in this country. Because we need to sit and reform the whole higher education subsector. It is fit for purpose. How do we transform it in a way it can make young people employable? Not everybody has to go to university.
Yeah.
Some people have to go and learn skills.
Yep.
Some people have to go and do the creative industries. So we need to know every child where your strengths are, where your passion is. Groom in that line. You become good in that thing, and it's even nafano. But UTG as it is now, when it comes to our curriculum, when it comes to the way we recruit, it's just like a business who's selling, because UTG is predominantly run by students' fees. So with the more students, the more money we have, without thinking of the consequences of the kind of courses, programs we are teaching, also the type of students we are having at university. But that is not a political decision. Whether you have President Barode, whether Jame, whether Jawara, once there is no serious, two things has to happen first. Meaningful reform of the whole higher education sector and massive investment. You cannot have a higher education, you don't invest in it. That is the country's backbone. The country can never develop without the higher education subsector. So once you don't invest in it, you don't do massive reforms, then the whole development paradigm is useless.
Yeah. I think we'll come to that later on, especially when we talk about CA. But yeah.
That's very close to home. But there are so many relevant things we can talk about. The way we can criticize UTG and education at UTG, it starts somewhere, and that's basic education. So that's a whole discussion on its own. But I just wanted to say we have covered a lot in very short time. We've covered your personal life, which I am very happy. The way you explain it suggests that you are not different from anybody. Perception, Dr. Ceesay, he doesn't grow up here, he's not from here, so he's not familiar with the realities on the ground. But that explains that hard work can take you somewhere else beyond where you have been before. And another thing I just wanted to say is, this is also very close to home, having Dr. Ceesay on this platform with me, because I know him very well, and I have been involved in so many things that he has initiated, and I have personally took part in those. My very first association that I joined and I was very prominent in was Hope the Gambia, and that was an organization that Dr. Ceesay brought students together to form. I used to be the counseling director for that association, and we used to deal with violence against women, sensitizing, going on radios, shows, and putting up flyers and organizing retreats, talking to students about these issues. And I also remember my very first debate, even though I used to be very shy, he was the one who pushed me to go and have that debate, and that's where I began to build my confidence. And he did this a lot for a lot of other students outside, both within our field and outside our field. On the campus, sorry, I am hungry, it's still Ramadan. And I remember also, we're going to talk about this, even the uprising that we used to have. We had at UTG when President Jammeh decided. He and I fought on that a lot, because I used to work at University Relations. And when he wrote his letter, he sent it to me to publish. And I was scared at the time. I said I wasn't going to publish, and he called me a coward, and I was I was really mad at him for saying that. But eventually we ended up working on that, and it was successful, because that's where it began. That's where the whole Gambia has decided movement, not the slogan itself, but the essence of people rising up against that regime was where it began, when the letter began to circulate, when I shared on the email, and people picked it from there, and it began to circulate on Facebook, on WhatsApp, and everywhere. So I am not here on this platform because I'm curious about Dr. Ceesay. I know a lot about, I don't want to sing your praise because I'm also your biggest critique. But what I wanted to know is, a lot has been said, especially since you came on the spotlight on a bigger platform. You've been on the spotlight at UTG, but beyond UTG, people began to ask, where have you been? Where were you?
Thank you. I think you must say something very interesting, which I really missed. Yes, she's my biggest critique, but I like that. That is why we've been very close for a very long time, because I like people who critique me. It helps me develop. I'm always not, I'm not a perfect human being. I have my weaknesses. No human being is perfect. But having people like Nima who don't only tell you what you want to hear, but who tell you what is good for you, it's like medicine. So sometimes we'll be in a forum, and then I'll go home thinking that, oh, well, they touch Nafa. And then she'll call me and say, X, Y, Z. And I'll slide, and sometimes we live in quarrel about it for like half an hour on the phone. I'll not accept, but going home to sleep, I'll say, yeah, what Nima said is right. And then I'll grow, I'll learn. And she has really contributed to that growth. And also, she must be commended for the defiance. against Jammeh. Because when I heard Jammeh speak at 10 o'clock, say that he has annulled the elections in totality, it hurt me.
Yeah.
I nearly cried. I was like, really? No, it's not going to happen. And when I drafted, I couldn't sleep. At 3 a.m. I woke up. I drafted this letter, and I wasn't a Facebook user, so I didn't have any platform to share this letter. But I said the UTG has a big platform where even current and former students and lecturers get access to this platform. And Nima was the custodian of this platform because she was the overseer of the relations office.
Okay.
And then I said, you know what, you need to post this to the platform. She said no, and she started. She wasn't not no, but she was kind of skeptical. And then later she saw the value of what this could do, and she was brave enough to post it there to the with serious consequences.
Yeah.
The following day, an emergency Senate meeting was convened. These old professors and university management, and she was brought in and bullied, and intimidated, and threatened, and they eventually not fired her from the university, but took that position away from her. And I think
I gave it up.
Yeah, you gave it up because of the way she was treated.
Yeah.
Because of the way she was treated. Call all sorts of names just for sharing that letter. And that letter eventually went to embolden many people to start a wave of defiance, which eventually became known as the impasse, obviously, which saw Jammeh go. At that time, when we were writing that letter saying that you and your criminal government must go, otherwise we are going to boycott all university activities, brought total division in the university, with some saying no, Dr. Ceesay is not right, he cannot dictate. Some say yes, he is right, Jammeh has to go. How was the problem solved through an election?
But
Senate said
the question I was leading up to though was if you could take us through
Yeah,
how
I'll go-
that whole
of
thing
course.
happened, the PIL, for example, how it came about, who were involved, if you want to mention names. Maybe not mention names, but
it's called the PIL. So it's called the Pact of Influential Lecturers. That we made a pledge that Jammeh must go. That is the will of the people. The Gambian people have spoken, and anything else will tantamount to subversion of the will of the Gambian people, which really will add to our already indignified situation. So we said he must go. So when I drafted the letter, even though the PIL thing, I don't want to delve into that because it's a bit sensitive. Those who are involved, who are not involved. But that was the whole idea.
I would say it was non-existent. Like it didn't exist. Like it was, yeah.
Now you are exposing me. Huh? So when I said that, some people were calling me. In fact, people are very close to me. I said, Doc, to be honest, we are behind you, but who is this PIL?
I know, right?
Because I said, no, don't worry, you know.
So it was a one-man thing.
You know who the
Not
PIL
necessarily. Like there were people who were rendering support without knowing that PIL in essence does not exist. Like, but people were thinking maybe someone is a part of it. Maybe someone is, and eventually people became part of it without being part of it.
Without knowing.
Wow.
It was something I just created.
It was a
to
smart
say
move,
that
I guess.
the, we the PIL. But again, who is the PIL?
Who are?
Yeah. So many people at some point by default just became part of the PIL. But not only that, when that happened and there was voting, majority voted for boycott. That was confirmed. So we won on that one. I came, organized a youth retreat at the university to say, you know what, I call all the young people. Salutali in fact came, was when he brought many garments and t-shirts, we started distributing them. What is the resolution? The young people spoke that Barrow must be inaugurated on the 18th by hook or by crook. Then ECOMIC had not even threatened. Then there was no movement to say Jammeh was going by force. Then it was just 1 week after his announcement. I took those young people. In fact, on that day, NIS came to the university looking for chemo. I came, I told them, what do you want? Chemo Boja.
Oh,
he was upstairs. Then they called me. I said, what do you want? They said, we're asking for chemo. I said, chemo is not here. I said, where are you from? They said, we are from Action Aid. I said, I know you guys are NIS. And they laughed. They said, Ceesay, I don't know so t-shirt. So they left. So once that meeting was over, I took these youths. We went to President Barrow at Carabao Hotel. We said that we were going to see him by force. We saw him, we sat. And I said, these young people have made the resolution today that we are going to be inaugurated on the 18th by hook or by crook, if it even means that we die. And that we gave that pledge, and we are waiting for the 18th. But then again, we saw what happened, a comic game. So where were you? Can be, everybody played a role during the fight, even those who kept quiet. Now, there are those who suffered most. There are those who had to go on exile. There are those who said, what is the point of going into exile if you can stay and change things from within? Now, what would have been the need for me to go on exile? If I could help and change the minds of the young people who, in fact, played a key role in the change because of the way they were exposed about these things. So we are supposed to be very smart about it. Yes, some were forced to go into exile, but those who are not forced to go into exile, they sat and they did a lot of things by exposing information, exposing the government, or giving information, or giving intelligence, but also by just doing enlightening the people. So everybody played a key role. But let us not also forget that those who really played a key role were the politicians. The Oseno Davos, Honorable, the Halifa Salas, the OJs, even the Adama Barrows. When most people recoiled that who was going to face Goliath, he came and faced him. That alone is commendable. That is why I always urge him to always think about his legacy. He did right there. He cannot make it wrong by making the wrong decision later, because already he's in the history books as the man who defied the dictator when everybody else recoiled. That alone is history. Now, for that history to be complete, he has to complete it. That when he did that, he left out of his volition and not forced out by trying to bring chaos and division. So he still is in a position to maintain that legacy, to make sure that he is in the favorable books of history. No doubt about that. But everybody should be commended. In fact, those who did not do anything, but they were under the hardship, with patience and perseverance, and they endured it, they should be commended. It was very tough for everybody.
It was tough for everybody. We'll take our first commercial. But when we come back, Dr. stayed to help create the new Gambian. With the change, do we have the new Gambian? So when we come back, we'll look at all of that. We'll take a first commercial break.
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3, or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings, 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464-838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
Sampap deena déedéet daf ma yónni woon ma suyal ko bii waaw yàlla def mu gagné jàppoon $100,000 la def
la ilaha illallah
te yow xam nga ne sama papa dafa amee cardiaque
yow da ngaa dof yow xam nga luy $100,000
am naa ko kay man naa lu ñëw bëggoon nga dimbali ci
demal na nga def damaa toog rek sama xel mi ne ci yow xam nga bërki démb li daal si benn waay fee waaw ma romb ko rek bërki démb waaw muy yuuxu di tëb ma ni kii lu ko dal ñu ne ma daal ci loto gaming Gambie bi la laal jar na ko laal na ci lu di waaw nga dafa am Korte am Kente am Ceesay waaw maanaam nag tey jii Kente bi la te jackpot bee passé xaalis
kente mooy lan
kente maanaam mooy juróomi fas yi
waaw beneen bi
am na quarte mooy ñeenti fas yi ak tiercé tey nag xaalis bi daa gën a yokku
lu tax
ndax jackpot bële dañ kaa tegaat ci bii maanaam juróomi fas yi boo ko jàppee ci ordre mooy risque nga désordre bi sax day fay bu ma ko jàppoon
yooyu moom noonu la demee da ngay dem rek jouer
am na lu ma yaakaar
man gis naa seen kii yi kees yu ndaw yi
ci biir dëkk bi
mais daal dama ni lii moom amul xaalis da nga ciy def sa xaalis
del jël wecce rek sànni ko fa xool jëmbat la laa ilaha illallah yow li nga wax ni tey ji bu yàlla dogaloon ma gañe ko lu mu gàtt
fi mu toll nii boo gañe woon $100,000
waaw lu may def
waaw nooy def
xam nga yow sama xarit nga
waaw
damay fexe nga rey say noonu
ci nan
lu mu gàtt $50,000
waay
Thierno woowee ambulance
lan la lu xew ni
sa baay gay dee na
sama papa gay lu ko rey
$100,000 laa ne ko boo ma gàññaloon si li ma la yónni dama ko koy jox mu daanu ni sama kaw
man waxuma ko mu waxee woon la ko noonu yow la ko waroon informé ndax yow yaa ko gañe yaa gañe jàppoon
fay lempo warugal la si képp koo xam ne doomi réew mi nga ak ñu fi dëkk bu fekkee ne ci at mi sa koom-koom weesu na $2,400 dalasi mbete weer bu nekk di nga am lu tollu si $2,000 dalasi lempo si la nguur gi di sukkandiku ngir liggéey yokkute réew mi GRA mooy banxaas bu nguuri Gambia sas ngir mu fayeku lépp luy lempo ci biir réew mi ba tax na GRA di yëgal faykati lempo yi ne warugal la pour ñu fay lu ñu naan withholding tax on contract payment maanaam bépp contrat bu waay joxe te si biir réew mi lañu toog kon xaalis si contrat bi ngeen nangutoo war nga cee wàññi ci xayma téeméer bu nekk fukka bu fekkee ne contrat bi dëkkut ci biir réew mi bu boobaa di nga war a wàññi téeméer bu nekk fukka ak juróom lii mooy lempo bu ñu naan withholding tax on contract payment lii mooy lempo bi nga xam ne yow mi joxe contrat warugal la nga wëlbatiku dem fay ko ci maakaani GRA tax office bu la gën a jege mbete ci banque yi GRA jagleel pour fay lempo war ngaa jébal lempo bi si diiri fukki fan ak juróom gannaaw bi nga wàññee ci xaalis si contrat bi amul benn contracto bu ñu teggil fay lempo bi xanaa mu fekk ne nguuri Gambia ñoo ko jégale boole si it projet yi nga xam ne mbootaay ndimbali ñoo koy dépense GRA di fayeku lempo ngir yokkute réew mi.
Welcome back to part 2 of this interview. Part 1 was very interesting. We got to know Dr. Ceesay more, and what really surprised me was his transition from someone who, for 1 year didn't go to school and then went back to school after. And today we can call him a doctor.
But come kalonko Dr. Ceesay mimbe for about himself. I stroke grown minke. I from push nyaming. I greet me sort of. A sense of purpose means sort of kaje content. This is what I want to be, and this is what I'm going to be, regardless of the challenges I face. Mune behind that, because sometimes, as I don't know, maybe you have a personality in your life, or you have a family relationship. You learn some things from there, and they become your inspiration for what failure childhood growth may have a contribution on that. Mune te prepare to have that set of mindset, or that kind of mindset, to say, I know who I want to be, and I'm going to be that person regardless of whatever challenge I face along the way.
What did Uncle Silen Kamira, even though my mom played a key role, teacher London, and she taught in many schools, and Kanomalano, most of the schools, Kafuta, Cloro, Yundum, most of the schools. But the Brintara Fongam Falong Kontalong Ismaila Ceesay. Nobody mang advise Kafukotakara. Nobody. In fact, the people I was even mingling with Nasakul, Nimilka move, Karanga was not the thing. But at some point, I think the one thing that inspired me, which was far stronger than anything else along Gambia. Because Berim Fara Sweden, Ngayala Society Jube, enough course following Aminke Kafako Desvenska model, it means the Swedish development model. Ngajube, Bota Daming, and being a Sweden Jube, for Haniatara Ilan Kumol for Nasasada. Ika ambulance suja ka ros akasamba to the animal clinic. In katelo lupitano don kaja ke nyamela karambungol ila silol ikela multi nyameng. Konfai mona nan fanana banko te kelateng. And that has always been ko. Nte I always known ko min kam push walonko how to make Gambia become a country mialonko every citizen can live in dignity. Mialonko lupitano sitama, diningol sita karambungoto. That has always been my driving force. So long Gambia That has been only thing. nothing else. Because even sometimes I like for the team of uncle, you know what? No, why don't I just go get a quiet job somewhere and relax, have a nice family? But no, at the detriment of Gambia. So it also always I can be very sometimes I can be very lonely and have very lose hope. No, this is not. Is this really what I want to do?
Yeah.
Why should I? Because sometimes academia you struggle a lot.
Yeah.
It's a huge sacrifice.
It is.
Sacrifice me along. I remember when I came home in 2009. One of these huge sacrifices was stop clubbing. I was young. I was
at that age.
At that time, because when I don't want to go to club, ni students will bench. So no friends will kaje ka ngata kata bari. Ngala fi kata bari kono. So that sacrifice alone ko see you cannot even enjoy anymore because why? Iman la fi kata je ni students will ben club. That alone is huge sacrifice. So I don't have this really life I want. No, but Gambia has always been that thing. Min can push, min can focus. So everything I was doing, whether it's education, whether it's me staying away from trouble, whether it's me whatever, I was doing it. One day Gambia will need us to to be there to make it move, and you need to be ready for that task.
Mune atina bi mojama ba fala mojama ka ko Dr. Ceesay fele itolle karanta Gambia jang kaytol be bulu londol be bulu itolla nyanta kafu mansa kunda maka do kuoke. Instead you become Barrow's biggest critic, sometimes to a point where some people might see it as offensive, some of the things that you say. Why have you become so passionate about criticizing this government? What has gone wrong, for example?
We are criticizing the government. I think every government needs somebody who is going to act as a counterweight.
Criticize is not always negative.
Yeah, it's not always negative. But coming for Lonko, like I told you, bring Barobe Karaba. Mafa Dronko, we are going to inaugurate Hukaba Kukte. We are also ready to help you.
I remember that. I was there.
You had even with jail. We did a lot of things. Okay, even the master's program of Ontolega started at MSc.
Oh wow.
We are even in Toba University in Kaikoda. Mansula Palasola. I told him plain. But we have economists at the university. We have political scientists, we have economists, we have any PJ. Until ni tata for sita, we can help you for free. Just for Gambia. We told him that. So amanke ko nga start like aje ko let's criticize. Bring aje sita ngaje ko imam pare pour ka karanal fi nang pour ke dema. Dem fana ngaje ko okay, bawo imal la fi ngana nga dema roke. But hani so on se dema no wala mundi. Ngatandi la mimalon ka mantara tamaka andong every citizen inyanta ka okela wolon ke critique ka foko alla ni mantara tamaka alla wala nen to la critique ko be jube mbukata personal nga fole ko nyin munne mantara tamaka andi anyanta ka nyame bari tolle kata ika personalize andu mansa ni be mansa kundama nya ko personalize ni mol diamu tela moyila mansa minna ka succeed wala woti
mol ko docteur to nya docteur kita mo foloti mi masakunda criticize kabri molko nga chance di masakunda la follow bayri masakunda ko to kabri barona ra konte ma londe bari nim mol min nata londi tiolom mba katalal mba trailale bari ngamra kari dan follow dron Dr. Ceesay nata ay kumasta ki criticize yemune jenu at that early stage foka masakunda criticize that early
yalon to molti mi alon ko meta masakunda ka tamanya meta kisi la saka Gambia la nyanta ka gambe fon samba nyame wolon to la do ko de bine motono iyara moto rayari nyima la ka nyima moto reverse nyima wala pake nyajana nyima dunda fay moto start ibalo na fay moto no because monekera nala raga sa number 1 aita ba start ka ibalo no ko nyinga ma moto no we saw that kabring akumaseta ngaye ko biri sita follow e mil fo e make and wala nyanta ka gamme sa wala di reforms e min fo e mo yuto ko ni farra follow nying loi jawol be wala follow reform la ngaje koy mo kede ye min follow sama parliament wolong age limit ani kudol mi alon ko amang gamen na fa ngaje ko tiñaro commencé ta wala to otole ngaje ko nyil dal iba tamande kanyame amanya na kata wonya flanjango biring isita maje ye plan fina mole ka fuko ñinnom problème de bari mba sambala tendin mo fananje ngaje ko da still using the old system jamme ka nyame ani we tamani ka tama fe ka nyameng the same thing lo convoy ka wala je e fota state airport to yelo e bulol di nyola rangole sia wo be mu cool tamansi mi ko beri ngaje ko ñin mam pare farindi rola ka cool ke differently malon fam e si tay ko think tank le create e mol fe na je mi wol fo ngoy ma foye de ngalon ko ten something ma right ani ñing ma sakunda because nyatara ite think tank le create emil be inform e be nyanta kalone ko nyanta kala den think tank there are big inauguration ke spending millions state house so beri wo taman siro ñing ku mesengol nka wolle ani ka mil fo molie ani ka ko taman di nyameng beri ngawol be calculate wo kari sabo kono rek beri BBC ñinin ka 400 days so e barola man sakunda nyaadi le nko ko e falendro kele de bari ñimmanke man sakunda de membe Gambia sambalan kata dame wolonko angaleto if Gambia is to be transformed into a 21st century country this government cannot provide that.
You said that the first 100 days.
Of course. Because I saw it.
A lot of people critique you for that, including myself.
Even insulted.
Yes, a lot
of people.
How can you?
Photo Pablo finally loka konyo ko ite tim kurungo timo ya jamela agent wala. Jela tantamita. So but we were ready for that. Some of us will have to say what we told more than tell the Indinola. That is what I thought, that is what I saw, that was my opinion. Now whether I was wrong or right, the verdict came out later. Wala nane bi model kan stop silo kan ko baite enyelo nu nyaadi la ko no it's easy because mo neketa karango anyanta ye nafa karango manketa example pass rek graduate no karango nyanta aye nafa wolon karango de en alatin duko ngamimbe karang wol nafa wala je kanko ninga kudolje ifon kala ko nying ko man correct
molko niaje Dr. Ceesay be Masakunda criticize la maybe a political ambition lesto but before ngana woto ni Masakunda comme ya fanyami kabrika na MOU lesto they have an agenda ila agenda wolom ka reform agenda so lebje for example civil service reforms security sector reforms commission of inquiry ka set up kajibe minketa wo Masakunda kototo ka min kumata baki ko pour Gambia constitution kuto soto kadi ko luwal mimbe nun jang wala tinna banko fo be tinyata na institutional man strong we didn't have strong institutions wala tinna former president min diata ko ke banko kan as a parastatal ko na ko dol tala kuma noje because we didn't have strong institutions wala agenda tino kabri ni Masakunda nata Masakunda mol ba fule ko kuma kilim fo nyin agenda to mammin kumas for example commission of inquiry ketal abanta report of finta Constitutional Review Commission, of course, aketale sign draft ni president obulu pour finta National Assembly me jikirin ko ambe carte file next election with the new constitution. Woto wo fanan ketale TRRC is ongoing. Commission of Inquiries ketale civil service reforms iko ya komasile. Security sector reforms akomasile. Doctor mune desta. Why the criticisms at an early stage? Mune desta.
Yalong ning ko on samba banjul. Wala na destination oti. Ni mansa kondanga wale foye oversee a transition nkonyin transition banko ka transition from one system to the other inyada ka carry inyada ka nyinni ka banko mi alon ko da transition from civil war to democracy wole la silol sotale ndo from dictatorship democracy ngana silol sotale so there was a transitional justice bawo tilimbali alin tinyaro leketa mbewo fali na nyaadi le iko nyanta ka nyinni bari aljalon ko transition bam folode transition mun to la banna nin tata fa constitution kuto soto fo carte fighter for a new government nata mi alon ko so transitional government then sina post mortem ke but mimbe ndiamo ka wolon ko ni ngaje ko ite kata nyanta kata banjul bari yesilo minta ngaje ko ate samano la banjul wala ni be futal fete tare la ka futa be diamo commencer la de ke kara silo min na ikadun juso kara mana ke juso ning silo ta me wole fokang sadanga ku kilim foy security sector reform hanin san kese mambo jabato ngamone deje imagine ka bring ni man sakunda sita fosani incident dol foy incident dol mi alon ko we saw mutiny iko amil lafta ka CDS mal lafta ka mana kala iko amil break into the Ministry of Defense for kuponol sunyaje iko amil tata ibe manol mi alon ko relief rice iba sunyala nga paraje bering brikamba di ngol wulta kata back area council ngaje ma minkeda nga farabaje ngaje ko security fam bi anyanda katama amantara tama ka wunya both human personal security because big crime rate seletale nim police statistics fenang ibala ko crime rate seletale you understand ngai so mona reform da maje natar hani sign we are still doing the same thing mona reform da maje even say military civil relations is still the same if officer because the army is doing a very good job at least in terms of PR kaje ko sign we trust them. They are operating within a democratic society. But still at the settle. Now, when it comes to the Commission of Inquiry, findings ketale, implementation ketanya dile, being ajale. So what wrong? Kodo nying because the Commission of Inquiry is not only kaje ka minke, but it's the money soto no Emil Samba. Na money recover. Ye ming spend, ye ming recover wala spend puru kage. So but ni call kono. But mingena kumata lon TRRC and Constitutional Review Commission. Nyille fon kumata, nyille fon ba tinyala nyille be gambe de dala. Sa ikol lafta kalon jumale tilimbali yake. Those who bore the greatest responsibility. Which institutions failed? Mone keta Gambia tinyaro bundala. Mbo tinyaro dala nyadila. And Constitutional janta karanyola. Because the 97 Constitution ay model indemnify ko idi yanko bature kesi ba folo kanne ko if you are doing things in an official duty it means it is indemnified. Now the new constitution is supposed to change all that. Ibayero ko nim constitution na man pass no matter what kind of recommendations TRRC bekela be useless because we are still going back to the 97 constitution. So wala na sign kamim fo wolonko albanyin tamandi kan nyama manyana kata wonya anyanda katama ten pour ngata nyaata wolong ya katale ya CRC satople CRC yara doko kele mbe tentula mbe jela ya tala ya di president ka act assembly mol nak ma fole ko e kana patiola interest jube e kana fon konkul ngala interest jube e gambia la interest jube bawo ni bi je da mangol be sonko la je be patiola interest jube la fonyin constitutional pass which means we are going to hand over the next generation of Gambians with the 97 constitution, which based on talent. Come on, better. That was the basis for Solo Sandeng Mananda. I think. That was the basis man be finta because be agreed to come on better. So why should we? Ngado soto mi alang wale fisi atade. Ka nganyo kele batiola bundala wala kukota ngafo amana pass we still within 97 constitution. So wala na right now is early. Pour nga post mo temke pour ka fako weda the transition na filter fa succeed bari be silo min ta kan dal hanna be succeed la abe tardela la bari tarde ma nyim fanam mang mul fanam arrange because the sector reform hani sa momal be kerinje aslotale mam meaningful one je the security the constitution o nying afele san president ko aba kira parliament bali parliament fanasa go through process enenta ya publish ko tenke ni pate reading ke 1 2 3 third reading ni pate do fo ya vote then I find tol Gambian ngam fana ngabo dum process olti and wod ku jama si kenoje TRRC felenting mo testify tale cool ketale bari san recommendation nyanta kana andung diamo siatale so munebe so million ko wolle tilimbalake fo be justice tale bari mune fana mo justice because if justice might be different from the anite maybe ite mi alon ko ye bute fo mi fanna fano ite justice olon ko jamme na fana ya bute wala sama mal maybe wala ite la justice maybe ite la justice I lost my job ningol mantano ko ite la justice olon ko ali murundi na do kudula rek alex chris cross din ningol la but min kum mata olon ko nimman sakuna menu jang left a very divided society politically religious economically socially, ethnically, the country was divided. Now, two institutions, wala nyanda kan yung division yung heal, wala the constitution kutodi, and the TRRC. And ning killing failed direct, killing obe failed. If you even complete your TRRC, you have recommendation or submit. The constitution man pass, you still go to the same constitution. There'll be a mismatch. When the TRRC recommendations, they'll just gather dust away useless lale. But nim fana nik constitution of kutu fana sotota but TRRC mela do ko kendo ke fo hani san impunity be continue kanne fo hani san reparations manke fo hani san justice manke then new constitution no matter with all its ideals with all its rights everything still atena fa sotala wala na kumata le follow Simon kunda hakilo to woto ndol fana nga hakilo to bank dingol ngi ngarna member sol remind ko ni constitutional nyanta pass at all cost because ni one thing I mean tinyala wala be siala I mean dada.
But what I wanted to ask again is what people are saying. Could it have been because of your political ambition? If not, for how long has it been an ambition for you to be part of a political association like the Citizens Alliance, for example?
Now, I wasn't critiquing Barrow because of political ambition. I mean, I could easily have joined the bandwagon. Easily. It's easy. It was a new government. They needed capacity. I could have precinct and precinct and precinct until I find myself in the corridors of power and pursue my political career at the back of state, using even state resources. Because once you are close to political, you get access to state resources. You can use those state resources to go and do your stuff. But that is not why we are critiquing. We are critiquing because we thought it was genuine for us to do so, because we thought the government needed somebody to remind them of their responsibilities. You have to remember that when the government just came to power, there was nobody critiquing them.
Yeah.
And that was dangerous. No government should be left unchecked. Not parliament.
Could that have been the reason why they derailed from the...
Exactly. Partly. That was partly the reason, because everybody was like, no.
There was so much goodwill
because
coming from everywhere.
Like, this is our government.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The thinking was that, no, this government now, the common enemy was Jammeh is gone. Jammeh was not the problem. He was not the problem. The problems were complex and many. So what we succeeded in doing was to just remove one government and replace it with a new different government, with even some fringes of the old government still remaining, because we have still some people from the old government who are still part of this government. But the system, the machinery itself remain the same. If you change the driver of a car that you say the engine is not good, without changing the engine, the car will still not move. The new driver will just sit in the car and then eating grapes and bananas and passing to whoever he wants at the back of the car, but the car will not move. So the whole idea was to reform. The reforms are key. And that was the spirit of the most of the MOU and most of the agenda of the coalition. That is why once they started deviating from the agenda of the coalition, I knew something was fundamentally wrong, and something was going to be fundamentally wrong, because that was the purpose. We lost our sight on the ball. We are supposed to score a goal at the opposite end, and we lost sight of it. We were focusing on some other things. Instead of focusing on how do we govern this country going forward, we are focusing on who should govern. And I knew that something was fundamentally wrong. But we did not critique because we wanted, we were politically ambitious. No. We critique because it was out of the fact that at that time, Parliament was not even checking government. Everybody was in romance with the government. International donor partners, citizens, everybody. There was nothing like UDP, NPP, everyone was coalition. And I thought that was dangerous. And I thought somebody has to really play that be a counterpoint to government, to remind government that even at a serious with implications for my safety, because I was threatened by people, for my dignity because they were insulting me and so many other stuff. When it comes to ambition, I've always been ambitious. I'm gonna be very blunt. Always, since I was a child, since I started perceiving my environment, I've always been ambitious. But my ambition is not to lead. My ambition and my drive is to be part of a group of people who can change my society, no matter what type of society. That is why, since I was young, I was always either a class prefect or a Boy Scout, or even in my VU, I always take the lead. That's why they used to call me PRO. Because I was the one who organized everything. Ndelka picnic organized. Ndelka football organized. Warga ndelka even pick na pico ndeleke ta nkema fakatinya. Because I was always making sure that something is happening. And I have always had a passion. In fact, an obsession. One obsession was to see Gambia move. I want to be part of that team of people to do that.
Why do you think CA is the right platform, or let's say the right party?
First of all, before we get to that, how did CA came about?
CA came much later. CA, you know the history. It's a long process. I mean,
it's not for me.
CA is not for you, but CA is a culmination of many attempts, even under Jammeh, to create a political force in this country that is transformative and that is innovative. We had many false starts. That is why when people think that CA started recently, no, it has a long history. It started way back. We've had, even under JAMA, we've had series of meetings with people from different parts of the world, thinking that, in fact, the target was 2016, but what most of us were still studying. In fact, all of us who are talking, young Gambians who are studying, we started discussing plans to, it wasn't in the context of CA itself, but what can we do to make sure that we effect change in that country? That is how it started. But again, when it comes to answer your question, that my ambitions, my obsession for Gambia to change, whether I play the role of a referee or the role of a striker or a role of a defender, but as long as I'm part of the game and we win the game, that has always been my obsession. That is why when I conceived of CA and I thought, look, it is going to become unfashionable in the future for parties to revolve around one individual. So what do? We need to build a party that will be anchored around values and a vision. When that happens, then we'll bring people together, and then the leaders will be created from this crop of people. That is the idea I sold to all those who joined CA. I did not tell all of those who joined CA, ask them, I did not tell them to come and join CA. Come, let's partner and build a political force that can change this country. And each and every one of us has a say, and the leadership question will be left to the people of CA to decide who they think will lead them. That is why we still have this arrangement of still not having a flag bearer, because that was to be the last question. We wanted a system where there are strong internal democratic mechanisms within the party, that the party is supported not because of one individual, but because of what it believes in. That is what we are trying to nurture. Also creating a young generation of Gambian leaders who will take charge of their own destiny. And that leadership of CA will be emanating from that leadership. Now, why CA and not other parties? Obviously, this has been a question that I've been asking. We've looked at other parties, and we realize that we have an alternative to the Gambian people, which is different from what the other parties are offering, obviously, both in terms of internal structures and processes, but also in terms of what we have in terms of agenda. We thought that our agenda will be different, will be human-centered, will be focusing on, will be transformative. We want to bring solution-based politics. When we listen to the rhetoric and the debate at that time among all political parties, no disrespect, but it wasn't focusing on policy and solutions. It was more focusing on who should govern, who should govern, who should govern. And we didn't want to take that route. We want to focus on how do we govern? How do we change our circumstances? How do we ensure that our children are born in the right environment and they can grow in the right environment? How do we build, today, show me one play park that we build for our children in this country, apart from the one at village. And my children cannot go to village because I cannot afford it. Name me one play park in Sukuta or in Bikama or in Botan where it has Njayan and all this fancy for our kids to go and play outside, outdoors. Name me one recreation or one green spaces or recreation parks with benches and fountains where on a Sunday afternoon you and your new husband can go and relax. It's not happening. Look at, name me, our environment is being destroyed on a daily basis. Where in 50 years' time, we will not leave anything behind for our children. And demographic realities are dire. Today we are 2.3. 2050, based on projections, will be 5 million people. We're not building enough homes for 5 million people. Instead, we are selling all the land. And while selling all the land, the most tragic part of it is that we're not even planning properly. You'll take a whole city and sell it, give it to estate agents. They'll demarcate it 20 by 20 and sell everything. They leave no space for a health center. They leave no space for a school. They leave no space for a recreation green space. They leave no space for a play park for kids. They leave no space for a football field. They leave no space for a youth development hub. They'll sell everything. And before what's happening, the only thing we are building is rental houses, petrol stations, and stores. That's all we are building. Our pensioners, we said, why should they die in indignity? When you work for your country for 40 years or 50 years, and they told you that you are retiring now, you know what that means? Go home to die, we don't need you anymore. But when you go home to die, you must die in dignity. You work for 40 years as a police officer, as a prison officer, You are going home to retire, not even in your own compound, but renting until you die. Leave your family behind renting. Look at our workers, the condition of the Gambian worker. Today, government employs 43,000 people upward. Over 18,000 are in the security services. Almost 50% is in the security services. But they're the most neglected. The police. The two most neglected institutions, three: the police, the army, fire service, and the prison services. Very neglected. The private sector workers. Our women are working in banks and hotels and security firms without proper labor laws that protect them from discrimination and exploitation. You work in the bank, you work from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. You're not paid overtime. And you are supposed to finish at 4. So our hotels. So these are the things. We want to create a fairer society, a just society. Not that we don't have the resources, but that's another part of it. We saw the potential in this country. That since independence, Gambia has huge potential. In fact, the potentials are even much more now. Because at independence, our population was 300,000 people. Now we are 2.3 million people. Enough to create a self-contained economy, to produce all the goods and services we need for ourselves. Today, everything we produce, everything comes from outside. We don't have a garment industry to create our own clothes. We don't have an agro-processing industry to make our own juice, our own mayonnaise, our own even our own chicken is more expensive than the chicken coming from outside. Eggs are coming from outside, cheese from outside, even milk. Despite having the potential to create a huge livestock industry, we still bring milk and cheese from outside.
But in all of these things you're saying, we have hosted many politicians here, and they'll give you all these fancy ideas. But what kind of what economic policy will CAA implement if elected into office? We have a tax-based economy. How are you going to implement all of these things that you were talking about? Because at the end of the day, you know we have a very small economy, and what policies are you going to...
What is a small economy? Sweden, Rwanda, you can call them a small economy. They're doing well. Botswana, yes, they have diamonds, but they have a small economy. Scandinavian, look at Luxembourg, small economy, no mineral resources. You see, you have to be innovative. You have to understand your condition and know what your resources. Today, Gambia is in a position to leapfrog development than in any other period in our history. In the sense that, one, we have these things. I'll name 6 or 7 of them. We have fertile soil, good sun and rain. It means we have the potential to develop our agro-industry, to invest in agriculture, in fruits and vegetables. We have the manpower, because young people are here. 65% are young people, and our women are 52%. They are very hardworking. So the manpower is there. The resources we need is there. How do we harness it? That is the ideas. Poultry. Imagine the amount of chicken that we need in this country every year.
Yeah.
We can't even provide it for ourselves. We have to rely for it to come from outside. Why? We have to invest in the poultry. See, that is where public-private partnership comes in. We have a lot of young people here who are talented. How do we engage them? How do we provide investment opportunities for them so they can venture into these trades, so that before we are done, every chicken that is eaten on our tables is locally grown chicken. Every egg we eat is locally grown egg. Every milk. And when I'm talking about the agro-processing, with the value chains, how can you allow tons of mangoes rotting in this country every year? Yet you go to this supermarket and buy mango juice for $150. Why can't it be corresponding? Whereby we transform mangoes into juice. We have a juice, mango juice, pineapple juice. All these create employment. Look at our fisheries sector. We sold our seas to the foreigners. We're not even benefiting from it. So it's there. But crucially also, we're not attracting the power of the diaspora. They also have a key role to play, because most of our educated, highly experts are living in the diaspora. How do we bring them? So you have to look at your resources. What are these resources? Our fertile soil, our sun, and our human resources. You have to bring all this together. Now, what ideas do you have to make sure that you benefit from these, all these? And this is what we have to make the difference. But the potentials are there. We have the manpower, we have the brain power, we have the resources, we have the soil. Now it's up to us. God will not come down. The tax-based economy is our own. We created it. It wasn't by default. It's by design. It's by design. The opportunities we have in this country to grow, many countries don't have it, and yet they are far ahead of us. look at let's look at corruption. And that is why I have the problem with this government. Look at our state-owned enterprises, the state-owned enterprises.
If parastatals.
Yes, if they are properly run, they can fund most of these investments I'm talking about in the agro-processing industry, the poultry, even the livestock. How many goats and sheep and cow, tons of meat do we need in this country on our tables? Yet we can't even provide it. When it comes to tobacco, you have to run to Senegal to bring sheep. But why? The ground is fertile for us to have our own livestock industry with the value chain that it comes with. But most of these SOEs are running at a loss. In fact, some of them are not even supposed to. In economic, they are not supposed to operate because they are solvent. The assets that they proclaim to have, they don't have those assets. They are supposed to go down. But if properly managed, they can fund most of these projects I'm talking about to create our own locally made industry. The difference between 65 and now is that 65 we were 300,000.
Yeah.
You could not have, the market was not that big. But 2.5 million people is enough market. Just that if we are to produce the amounts of goods and services we need in this country every year, if we are to produce it for ourselves, will be a very, very strong economy. But unfortunately, we are not. Everything comes. Everything. Name me one thing that doesn't come in this country. One thing. Everything comes.
Everything comes.
Yeah. You alluded to CA being different from other political parties in not so clear way. I just wanted you to tell us in 3 things that make CA distinct from all of the other political parties that exist.
Well, one thing is that CA is agenda-driven and solution-driven. That is one. Agenda-driven, solution-driven. We focus on the solutions. And the debates I've seen from other parties, I don't see that focusing on that this is going to be our solution. We focus on the solutions. The 2 is the internal democratic processes. That instead of one person, the party revolves around one person. We said no, that's not supposed to be the case. That the party should not be identified with a particular person. The person should be so open that is why even if you look at our constitution, we have term limits in terms of who's going to lead the party. You lead the party for 2 5-year terms and you quit. But also finally, CA, when it comes to the 3rd difference that we have from the other parties, is that when it comes to the agenda, it's more people-centered in terms of our economic agenda. We've realized that we looked at the manifestos of most of the parties. It's no difference from what was here during Jawara, what was here during Jammeh. But we said that, look, yes, the market, we believe in the market. We believe in that the market is the best avenue to generate wealth. However, we also believe that the market is not very good at distributing that wealth in accordance with the principles of fairness and solidarity. That is where now the state comes in to take part in that redistribution, but not redistribution in terms of that Robin Hood or that social welfare thinking of. Social welfare may be tweaked a bit in the sense that the market will let to operate. Government will obviously take part. There will be public-private partnerships. But again, when it comes to distributing that wealth, government must make sure that wealth creation is encouraged. And that wealth will be used to fund social programs. Not giving people handouts to stay-at-home dolls, no, but making sure that we invest in education. So much so that every Gambian child, no matter where you are born, no matter your religion or your tribe, you get access to quality, relevant education, no matter where you are in this country. We invest in healthcare so that every Gambian, no matter where you are, you have access to quality, cheap, universal healthcare. We invest in roads, networks, so that every Gambian, no matter where you are, you can move from one end to the other without any inhibitions. We invest in transportation, importantly, so that no Gambian will be forced to beg for lift to go to work, so that transportation will be available, public transport at cheap will be available. And that is the thinking of CA. That is why I said that when we sat and talked about it, we wanted to come up with an alternative to what is existing. An agenda that is existing, that is more people-centered, that is more innovative and futuristic, and that focuses on what should be done rather than who should do it. Even though who should do is important, but what should be done in a collective manner is more important.
I'm going to allow you. People build this analogy between CA and PDOIS, partly because they believe that the association or the political association is made up of elites, in quotation. but also because of the way that you portray your agenda. I don't know what would be the right word to use here, but just to know that there's this analogy that's been built between PDOIS and the CA. What do you have to say to that?
But is it wrong for us to like similar? I mean, you can have two businesses.
But is it genuine? Is it something to assume that the two parties have something in similar?
I mean, a lot in similar.
I mean, the first excuse elite, who is an elite? I don't believe in that thinking that because they are made of elite, so they're similar. CA is not even made up of
but
elites.
it's a perception, and if it's a perception, that perception
is a wrong perception. CA is not made up of elites.
Now, why do you think people would think that, though?
I mean, let me tell you something. Political opponents always give labels to parties for political, for politics' sake. That is why you listen to other party. You call some parties ethnic parties. They'll call party X a Mandinka party. They'll call party Y a Fuller party. Now, does that party they call Fuller party always promote a Fuller agenda? No. Does that party they call a Mandinka party promote the Mandinka agenda? No. So the party they call elite party, are they promoting the elite agenda? No. But this is politics. What is important is not, that is the debate.
But why would people call one party a Mandinka party, another party an elite party, though? Why?
Yeah, but maybe they look at the leadership.
Beyond politics.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, they look at the leadership. Of the Fuller party called a Fuller party is headed by a Fuller. The Mandinka party headed by a Mandinka. Do you understand my point? So maybe CA, they look at the leadership and say, okay, all these are highly educated people. It's an elite party. But that is not the issue. I mean, for us, I think what people should look at CA is what they have to offer. Not who is up there, whether he's elite or Mandinka or Jola. No. What do they have to offer? I think that should be the debate. What is your agenda? What is the alternative? How do you want to change education? How do you want to change healthcare? How do you want to change this X, Y, Z? How do you want to make our police officers work in dignity, with the right equipment, with the right training?
But could the perception be coming from the fact that perhaps CA membership is concentrated around few prominent individuals?
That is also a misconception. CA members, if you look at
what is the reality?
Our Secretary General,
what is the reality?
He's from CRR. If you look at this, if you go to IAG and tell them, I want to see CA's Secretary from CRR. Dominic obviously is the party chair, but Dominic is not, is from Buyam, even though he lives around here. But if you look at, even if you look at the party hierarchy at the IAC, they are from the, and also I'll tell you something, CA was not formed in fact in Greater Banjul area. CA was formed in Brikama by a few people who are from Kiang. And if you look at, in fact, CA today, we have more strong base and more strong support in rural Gambia than in urban Gambia. We engage more than here. If you come to KMC today, I'll tell you, we are working, but again, the kind of, the organization we have in North Bank, in terms of the party structure, and the one we have in CRR, both South and North, and in terms of URR and LRR and West Coast, we don't even have it in Banjul. We have, well, in fact, most of our outreach programs we've done so far, we do less Banjul. We are focused, and also most of the people in the party hierarchy are from rural Gambia. But that is the perception because they see only 2-3 people speaking on behalf of the party on social media, on the media, and the people make the conception that it's an elite party, but it is not an elite party.
Few months into its existence, there are rumors that there's power struggle in CA. Is that true? I mean, there is. The rumor is there's a Dr. Ceesay camp and there's another camp. Is this true?
I'm not aware of any camps in CA. I'm aware of only one camp, the CA camp. To be honest, if there was a camp, I like to self-critique. If there was going to be such a camp, we'll deal with it and nip it in the bud.
Is there any power struggle among?
No, I'm not aware of any power. In fact, there cannot be any power struggle. I don't even understand my point. The CA has a constitution which tells every citizen your rights and responsibilities and how you can get any power you want within CA. So I don't see any power struggle within CA. I've heard this before. It's not the first time when I hear it, I just laugh. People say, oh, there's a power struggle within CA. I'm not seeing any power struggle. Maybe I've been blinded by my closeness within the inner working party. Maybe that is blinding but I'm not seeing any power struggle. It's very simple. That CA is going for Congress to elect its executives. Among these executives is the flag bearer, which is a stand-alone position, which is different from the Secretary General. We elect a chairman, Secretary General, all these positions, but also a standard bearer Who is going to contest for elections? Very simple. These are the procedures to be nominated. These are the election procedures. If you are interested, come and vie for any position. Delegates will come and vote. So what is the power struggle there? I'm not seeing any power struggle.
Yeah. So with the current political polarization and the loyalties that have been formed around bigger political parties, can the CA make a breakthrough in 2021, you think?
I think CA has a potential to make a breakthrough because CA is refreshing, composed of young people coming and talking about ideas, coming and talking about solutions. And I think every citizen has the right to form a party and also to contest for elections. What is important is a political market. Let every party come up with their agenda and their solutions for the people and go and sell it to the people. At CA, we tend to focus too much on the other parties. We think like this. As a businessman, if I am selling this bottle of water and you come to buy my water, there are other shops who are selling the same bottle of water, this different water. I'm not concerned about what the shopkeeper next door is selling. I'm not going to tell you don't go to him because his water is bad. I'm going to tell you why you should buy my water and how it's going to benefit you. That is our thinking. We try to focus on what is our agenda. We try to focus on what are the complex problems of this country in every field. And we try to focus on what are the solutions to these problems. What can we prescribe to change this country? How can we move this country from A to B to C with timelines? What is going to be our blueprint for this country? Not only for the next 5 years, but also for the next 50 years, because countries plan 50 years ahead. Today, the problems that we'll encounter in 2050, we should start preparing for them today. We can't wait even until 2040 because we'll be late. That is how government works. So our work is focusing on understanding the problem, not only the current problems, but also future problems. Unemployment, for example. What can make our young people be unemployed in 2050? What global trends are happening with artificial intelligence, with drones, with the changing nature of academia and higher education, with technology? So what can we do now? What can we put in place now to prepare them for jobs not yet even created? So that when time comes and the global trends are in a particular direction, we are ready to also go through that direction. That is how we are thinking. And that is why we're not focusing too much on, yes, there are parties that have been here since 86, since 1992, since 1994. We understand that. All these parties, yes, we understand that. But the issue is now Gambians are now more aware than before. And Gambians want to change their circumstances. And Gambians want the leadership. They want leadership in this country. They are yearning for leadership. They are yearning for an alternative. They are yearning for people who can solve their problems. The woman in the market in Brikama, who is selling fish near an open toilet, which is not clean, the stench, the water, the dirty, wants her situation to change. Not only in her working environment, but that when she sells, every time she goes home, she has something to take back to the family. The nurse who's sacrificing her life at the Brikama Health Center wants to work in a clean environment with all the equipment she needs so she can save lives. It is painful for somebody to die whilst we are midwifing her, not because you don't have the expertise, but because you don't have enough materials to make sure that you save her life. These are the things that we should be talking about. These most crucial, important things, and not things like it's an elitist party, it is this, these are big parties. As we speak, there are no small parties, there are no big parties in the Gambia.
So finally, from me, before I hand over to you, Fatou, we expected see a substantive executive to come up earlier than now, but up to this date, we haven't had any news. What is on the plans?
You haven't had any news, but Fatou heard the news.
Probably.
We called you for a press conference, and you sent the team to that press conference.
Yes,
that we said that we are going to have
wasn't around at the time.
In March.
In March, yeah.
That was supposed to be Congress.
Okay.
But then we were on outreach program. As usual, when you form a party for the people, to be owned by the people, you don't just stay in Banjul and say, nga party form le. No. Ikata molle ya follow. Koko nga party form le de. Bara party altol le tamo. Ni dalilu ati nga party nyendada. Party fele woto nga karafodi nyola. Alsidua. We are doing that outreach, going from village to village, town to town, spreading the word of Citizens Alliance before we go for Congress, so that when Congress happens, we don't take everybody. So people know exactly the ground is already laid. So before we finish the outreach, to prepare for Congress in March. Then the coronavirus outbreak came. And as a responsible party, we don't want to put lives in danger. The coronavirus is a serious virus. And therefore, we have to act responsibly as a party and follow WHO and government guidelines in reducing public gatherings and so on and so forth. So because of that, we organized a press conference to inform again the Gambian population that because of the coronavirus, we've shifted the Congress to June 5th, 6th, and 7th. We are more than eager to elect the CA executive and the party leader, because it is not good for the party as it is now. Because leadership is important. Even though we have leadership, Dominic is doing a fantastic job in leading the party. But we need a full executive, the full equipe be the for a new.
Okay.
With the defender, with the striker, with the midfielders. Exactly. with the coach. So our rumors these rumors aren't even good for the party.
Yeah.
It makes people to be ready, okay, should we wait or should we join? What's really happening there? So that is why it's in our interest to have the Congress. But we cannot also have the Congress if the timing is not right. So now the plan is to have it in June. We had a meeting to reconsider, but we say let us wait also to see what the government will come with in terms of the public state of emergency. So once that is extended again,
you're going to have to change the date
nothing we can do.
Yeah.
I mean, we found ourselves in a very difficult situation for everybody, for political parties, for the government, for even myself. So that is it.
Yeah. So now let's go to the coronavirus. So what's your assessment of the government's response? I know that no government was prepared for this pandemic, but what would be your assessment of this government's response?
Well, first of all, its government's response is double-edged. In one instance, you could give them some credit that they really did well. They acted quickly, even some might say it's late.
Yeah.
But they are following a global trend as well, because you have to understand that air travel is interlinked because of the interdependent and globalized nature of our world. If the Gambia government today should open our airspace and say, okay, open our airport, Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, Mali don't open, our airport is useless.
No one is coming. Yeah.
Exactly. So what happened was that even though some will say it's late, but at least they acted, they closed our borders, they closed the airspace, and also they came up with certain measures. One of them was that, okay, no travel again for public officials.
Yeah.
Another is that, okay, we are going to make sure that food prices are not hiked.
Yeah.
We are going to make sure that the president came out and gave a speech about social distance, so on and so forth. Fine. They also came with a comprehensive framework, strategy in how to contain the virus.
Yeah.
I read that document, fine. Where they also failed is to understand exactly that the virus is not only a medical problem.
Yeah.
It is also a social and an economic problem. So they failed in that part to make sure that in so far as you are protecting people from the virus in the streets, but make sure people don't also die of hunger. They've failed to have a comprehensive strategy to mitigate the economic and the social impact of the virus.
Yeah.
Even though they had a strategy to contain the virus. Fine. That is why, partly, even though we are here to do the post-mortem, partly why we have maybe minimum number of cases, it's because of they acted quickly. I'm not sure. We'll know that later. Now, the response was mediocre.
Mediocre?
Yes, in terms of mitigating the social and economic impacts. It was not well thought. There was no coherent, comprehensive strategy that is informed by the current realities. One of the key response was the relief package.
Yeah.
Give bags of rice and sugar. You lock down the country for 45 days. You are asking for another 45 days. And you want to give me a bag of rice that I can finish in 2, 3, 4 days. What after that? It's not sustainable. So what I advise the government, in fact, before this whole thing started, was that for you to have a comprehensive strategy, bring your epidemiologists who understand the medical aspect of the virus. Bring your social scientists who understand the social aspect of it, and your economists together and create this task force to advise you on how to go about it, so that your response will be equal. your response will be symmetric. You can address the virus by containing it, but at the same time, the measures you are going to impose to contain the virus will not put livelihoods in danger. You can protect lives, at the same time protect livelihoods. You can strike a balance between health security and economic security. But they did not take that advice. The focus was only how to contain the virus, but the impact is far worse than the virus itself, because what it has done is to create a new virus in this country, which is a kleptovirus, which is worse than the coronavirus. Klepto means thief.
A thief.
Of course, steal. They have this. Somebody who is kleptomaniac is somebody who has always the urge to steal.
To steal something. It's
a kind of a condition in some people. It's a that is why people like Mobutu, their government, we call them kleptocratic governments, kleptocracy. That is a government that is just bent on stealing. Now, the amount of corruption we've seen during this coronavirus is disheartening. And this is obviously demonstrated by the minister when he went to parliament. And that is the tip of the iceberg. What the minister said is what is happening at the Ministry of Health. What is happening in other institutions, both state-owned enterprises and public institutions, is far worse than what the minister is telling us. Now, the amount of money that has been pledged, that has come in, is a lot of money. Almost over $2 billion to fight the COVID-19. We cannot see it. We are telling us that we bought masks, and we are seeing police officers with no masks. We are getting reports that health officials who are going to collect samples don't have the right equipment. So where do you spend the money? The procurement process is absurd. You bought buckets and sanitizers worth $1 million. We don't know where they are. For health centers, you go to summer health center and say there is no even bucket, there is no hand sanitizer. So where did you take it? So again, that is the thing. They could not. We give them credit, just to summarize, for the measures they take to contain the virus. But they failed in coming up with a comprehensive strategy to mitigate the social and the economic consequences. Not only that, also the incentives it was going to create for people to steal public funds.
So do you think we should, the National Assembly should approve another 45 days?
No.
Businesses are complaining.
No.
Individuals are complaining.
I think when we had malaria in this country, which has killed more Africans than, and don't get me wrong, coronavirus is real.
Deadly, yeah.
It's real,
but
no doubt. But they're telling you that it has no vaccine yet. When will it have vaccine? We don't know. Whether even if we have it, if it's going to be good, we don't know. So how long will you continue closing down your economy? What I would advise the government, open the economy. Let us take measures to contain the virus. Because you cannot do anything about it. I mean, for how long will you close the economy? Okay, now imagine about 45 days lockdown. They are demanding for another 45 days. If there is no cure, will you have another 45 days? For how long will you have it?
For how long?
So, I mean, let us make sure we are serious and sensitize and educate our people to take the necessary measures. Hygiene, social distancing, and whatever, to make sure that we contain the virus. But open the economy. Now, the schools can remain closed. Semester is almost over. That gives us time till September, university and schools. Social events we can scale down. They are not that important. But the economy is key because it has far-reaching consequences. That is why if you look at other countries now, France is even encouraging the French to start tourism now, not outside, but even within France to boost the economy. India is saying, you know what, we might as well just open the economy. For how long will we close it? Sweden has their own strategy. My argument has always been that every country has its own reality. And every strategy you make must be in line with your own reality. You study your own situation, you study your economy, your politics, your society, and you come up with measures that reflect your society. Because Senegal is doing X doesn't mean that we have to do X. Because Senegal have a different problem than us. Because Sweden is doing X, we cannot do that. So we need to look at our own situation. But for me, just to summarize on this part, I think they should open the economy so that businesses can go ahead, but with certain measures. For example, every shopkeeper wear a mask. Every citizen wear a mask. We are 2.3 million people. Remove the denanos who don't go out. Remove the kebal buka finte. We can supply everybody with a mask so that everybody wears a mask. 1. 2. make sure that hygiene is key. 3, social distancing. We go about our
mass
business.
testing if they could.
Yeah, but and mass testing as well,
yeah.
so that we know who doesn't have it, and then we just have to adapt. And it just started. It was good we did the lockdown. Because we didn't understand the virus at all. But at least now, 2-3 months down the line, it gives us some idea about what the virus is about in terms of transmissibility, in terms of symptoms, and so at least now we have a rough idea. So now we'll use that knowledge to create a strategy that can make us move as a normal society, at the same time contain the virus. And I think this is possible.
Before we go, of course, I think our last topic will be the CRC. We'll just get into that a little bit, the new constitution. The president has it. Have you had a look at the draft?
Yes.
What's your take?
I think overall the CRC did a good job. It's a very good draft. It's very progressive. It's got new provisions that are supposed to solve some of the problems we have in this country. It has new provisions that are supposed to make sure that they deal with these 3 things: our common history, our current realities, and our shared aspiration. What is that history? A history of rights violations, a history of self-perpetuating rule. That is why in the new draft constitution, they put term limits and checks to make sure the executive, nobody stays in power for more than 10 years. In this new constitution, they enhance Bill of Rights to make sure Gambians' rights are not violated anymore. What are our current realities? Obviously corruption, and a civil service and a society to some extent devoid of integrity. They have sections which talk about leadership and integrity. What do we expect from leaders when they are in power? What is yours? What is not yours? What is corruption? A gift given to you while on public duty, is it yours or where should you hand it over? And they also created what they call the Anti-Corruption Commission to fight these realities. What are our future aspirations? A more developed society, a more democratic society. That is why they also came up with provision. They have what they call the Development Fund, whereby 5% of our GDP will put in a particular form to promote development and so many other issues. So it's a full draft. Citizenship, you can debate on it. Something that is progressive is that there is no difference between citizen by birth and descent as in the 1997 Constitution. One thing that you could say, but why is the 8-year threshold for children found in the Gambia with no parents? Why 8 years? Now, with the secular thing, it's a controversial thing, contentious. But in my view, there are many safeguards in the Constitution, especially those dealing with that no president can declare the Gambia an Islamic state, but also no National Assembly can, but also there are also safeguards, because Gambia has always been a secular country, whether you like it or not, whether you put in a constitution or not. It is always a secular country, it will always be a secular. That is just the trappings of our society. People of all faith, of all denominations, have lived in this country side by side in peaceful coexistence, intermarrying. My family, I have family members who are married to Christians, and I have Christian family members. Even you, everybody here. So we are one and the same people. But then there are also other progressive provisions. So for me, to start with, these 3 things, I'm going to test it against these 3 things. 1, is it legitimate? Yes, it is legitimate. Why? Because it is participatory. It was the consent of the Gambian people were sought before. So what is it there is what the Gambian people say they want. 2, it is inclusive. They included almost everybody in the process. And 3, it is transparent. The CRC was always telling us at every stage what they are doing. But 4, it sought consensus. So because of these 3, it is legitimate. 1. 2, is it fair? Is it a fair document? Yes. Can it take us to where we want to go? Yes, as a start, it can take us to where we want to go to. But the most important thing is that, is it better than 1997 Constitution? Which is the alternative? Yes, far more better than the 1997 Constitution. We have a problem. Now we have a choice. It's either we pass this Constitution or we go back to 1997 Constitution. And just that alone should make sure that every Gambian supports this document so it goes through. Because otherwise, we are going back to the devil, which all of us agreed from the onset that it's a bad document, it is not good. I mean, I'll give you an example. The 1997 Constitution indemnifies, I think I told you here, those people, and many other weaknesses in the 1997 Constitution that are not good in terms of term limit. There's no term limit in the 1997 Constitution. In terms of absolute majority, it's not there. So for me, by and large, I think every government should support this constitution.
But then that brings me to my next question, the term limit. I mean, we have seen a report on the Standard newspaper that cabinet feels that the term limit is biased against the current president. And in fact, we have, before even cabinet position, we have seen very senior constitutional lawyers also advocating for that section of the constitution being directed to the current president. Some people will say that is wrong. You cannot target a particular person in, when making a constitution. People say that is wrong. And also the secularism, of course, has been a very contentious issue. But obviously, that has been looked at properly, and now the main issue has been the term limit issue.
I think we need secular
and of course, the biggest scandal also, the cut and paste issue that has been brought up. See, I mean, why would we spend 100 and something million for somebody to just cut and paste? You just mentioned that it was participatory, but how participatory if some people felt it was something that was
but if you listen to those making the argument it was cut and paste, they did not say that the whole document was cut and paste.
Yeah.
There's some provisions were cut from the Kenyan constitution and put in the government constitution. This is normal practice, especially now in these days. Most constitutions that were generated in post-transitional societies draw inspiration from each other. The Sudan, the Kenya, the Ghana, the Guinea-Bissau, the Sierra, they draw and Liberia, they draw because they have a shared history. So therefore, it's not bad to draw inspiration from each other. All constitutions do that. So for me, that is not the issue here in terms of whether some provisions are from the Kenyan constitution. When it comes to the secular issue, it also depends on every society. If you look at, when you do comparative constitutional studies, most English-speaking countries don't have secular in their constitution. But most French-speaking countries have secular in their constitution. But I think the Gambia, we also have to find our own path. But the more contentious issue is the one with the term limit. We have to understand that we came from something. That is what led to this. We came from a very difficult period to say that we want to do X, Y, Z. That is why we want to have a new constitution. Now, we are in a transition. We are saying that we want to avoid self-perpetuating rule. Therefore, no president shall serve for more than 10 years going forward. What is wrong with that? And there is nothing wrong with applying laws retroactively. In criminal cases, yes, something might be wrong. Like you commit a crime yesterday, but the law was not in yet. They bring the law tomorrow and want to punish you for that crime. I understand. But if it's like civil cases, like this is not even a civil case, but things like this in terms of power, which can be which can bond this country, it can be a problem. So for me, I don't see any discrimination there. In fact, if it's discrimination, those who are in the diaspora, dual citizenship are discriminated because they're telling them that you cannot become president in this country if you have a dual citizenship. But then why can't we say you cannot apply it retroactively? That this will apply to those who are yet unborn. So that is also discrimination.
Does that affect you as well, right?
It affects me, of course. It does. But I understand, because if you want to be, obviously, I understand that. But that's what the government people say, that they want somebody who's going to lead them, to know them, to live with them, to understand their realities, and not just be born in Sweden, grow up in Sweden, because you have Gambian parents, you have a Gambian passport, election time, you come and contest for elections, you lose, you go back. The Gambians say, we don't want that. So we want somebody who will come and live with us, to know our problems, to drink from our kolonjio, to drink from our jibinda, to eat with us, to understand us, to become our president. That is what Gambians say. Because Gambians were asked these questions during the consultation. Do you want the president of a dual citizenship? Majority said no. CRC had no choice. But we think it's discriminatory. But we look at the national interest. That is the most important thing. It might not be in my interest. But my interest is not important here. It is the national interest that is important. It might not be in the interest of President Barrow for them to count his term. But it is the interest of this country.
It's even interesting to assume that constitutional provisions are about individuals.
Exactly. So
even if that person is a president.
Exactly. So he should accept it and say, in fact, this is where he should provide leadership. Come on, tell the government, you know what? I'm going to count this term. That's what the government people want. Because it's going to create unnecessary political division again. Because if he insists, and we insist, we saw what happened in Burundi. We saw what happened in Burkina Faso. We saw what happened in Senegal with Abdoulaye Wade. But why put the country through turmoil just because of what? The constitution doesn't favor you, an individual. And believe me, I'm pretty much sure, I don't know whether he's listening to me or not, I'm pretty much sure that President Barrow is accepting to count this time because we haven't heard from him. Sometimes we can be very unfair to him.
Yeah.
We've heard from cabinet.
Yeah.
But President Barrow himself had not said anything.
But cabinet is including president must be in cabinet when
they
I
understand. But you know, if you understand how this cabinet functions, you'll take a different view about it. And I don't want to go into that. But what I'm saying is that we want to know what the president come and address the people. What is his view on this? Does he accept the constitution as it says that he should do this term? And I think that would be a very good lasting legacy for him. That we have a president or a man who sacrificed everything and challenged a brutal dictator and won the elections and oversaw a successful transition, giving us a new constitution, making sure that victims have justice through the TRRC, making sure that the security sector is reformed, making sure that the money that has been embezzled is being accounted for, and then he leaves and the Gambia can have a new fresh start. I think that will be the best legacy that he can leave.
Now, are you optimistic we will vote on the in 2021 with the new constitution?
It's not about being optimistic. It must be.
Must be.
We cannot allow anything less than that. I think as citizens of this country, who love this country, every citizen must fight for that to happen. Otherwise, it will be a gross betrayal of everything we fought for. Then what is the purpose of the transition then? If we are not even able to usher in a new republic, because without a new constitution, there cannot be a new republic. So what is the purpose of the transition then? We are not only failing that, we are also failing generations yet unborn. It shows that we are not capable as a people to take care of our own affairs. And I'll tell you something, the whole world is watching Gambia.
Yeah.
Gambia has always been an experiment. We're the first country in Black Africa to do what we did in 2016. Now they're waiting for us to be the first country to usher in the Third Republic after a very difficult transition in a peaceful manner. That's going to put us somewhere else in the world map. The whole world is watching because other countries have tried and they failed. So now Africa, Gambia is the hope. So therefore we cannot allow that to happen. Every Gambian must make sure that you fight and ensure that the new constitution is passed and that we have electoral reforms and that we have election 2021 with the new constitution and a new president and a new government given a full mandate.
Did you say a new president?
Whether it's Adam Barrow,
okay.
Whether it's you, I understand you're also forming your own. Whether it is you, but the most important thing is that a fresh start. A fresh start is what we need, and we must fight to make sure we have that fresh start.
Are you prepared personally to let go of your citizenship if CA makes you if you become the flag bearer of the Citizens Alliance?
It's a very difficult question. I'll tell you something. If the Citizens Alliance sees that, if they have the confidence in me to make me their flag bearer and I accept, I will return my Swedish citizenship, if that is the law. Because, listen, I was born in this country. I will die in this country, no matter what. So the Swedish citizenship is for what? If it is the only document that is going to come between me and the development of this country, I'll not lose sleep over it. I'll get rid of it just for the greater good of this country. So I wouldn't even, it's not something I would even think about. It's something that I
Have you run out of cash power? Do you want to transfer funds to your family? Or do you want salary advance without coming to the bank? Your banking services have just been brought to you on your mobile phone. Download and install from your App Store or Google Play Trust Bank's mobile app. Simply search for TBL mobile app and follow the instructions. You can access the following services: funds transfer, cash power purchase, forex rates enquiries, mobile airtime top-up, mini statement, balance enquiry. TBL app is the only app that allows you to take salary advance and many more. You can also interact with your customers using our USSD code by dialing *533#. At Trust Bank, we bring innovation that is useful to you, our valued customer. With our mobile app and USSD, banking is at your fingertips. Trust Bank Limited, proudly Gambian.
Better and stronger as the sole ground operator at the Banjul International Airport. With an expansion in travel services, customers are assured of GIA's capacity to cater for all their travel needs, provided by professional, experienced, and ever-smiling staff. GIA's Hajj package and services, by far the best in the country, give the customers the opportunity for a memorable Hajj experience. For a more efficient cargo services, GIA means business as it launches its new multi-million-dollar ultra-modern cargo complex to revitalize and stimulate air transport. GIA, the pride of the Gambia.
Waaye déedéet waay ay warula naaj waaye xam naa ne bu paree rek ma kontaan.
Sama secret mooy ami tamaate jeeg balaa jonge day mun waañam ami tamaate soo ko defee si sa tooga da koy xonkal cuur jeeg bu koy jëfandikoo sa jëkkër du la musa mere.
Nijaay waaw baala ma tey dama naa gis añ bi. Séeri xiif naa de. waaye léegi ma pare topp suma lii bi maa ngi dem yegg kaay. waaw topp suma gannaaw. loolu de laa bëgg a dégg.
Faro Company mi ñu indil bébé Mariam moo ñu indil ami tamaate.
Séeri sa benn cin xonq na. ami tamaate de moo si jaar. ami tamaate. waaw ami tamaate. moo ko xonqal nii. jëm. waaw bis ni ki tey. waaw dee naa la ami tamaate.
doomi ndey ami tamaate bi nag léegi ku ko bëgg nag mooy def nag mu koy am bépp marché boo dugga bitik supermarket table yi bépp foo dugga si biir réew mi di nga am ami tamaate. Salut Pro Beats.
cey kër gi nag xam ngeen ko di boutique buñ leen indil fii ci réew mi mu nekk fan ca poori Palmarima dama ne jëkkër ak jabar ànd ak seen doom ba dugg ca biir jënd ba baax waaye looy foog ne dafa seer déedéet kër gaa ngi nii kër gi moom lu baax rek la leen amal loo soxla rek am na ci biir kër gi néeg waañ yëpp am na ci biir kër gi cabinet yëpp am na ci kër gi waay kër gi daal boo duggee ca biir loo waral ree bi ree ji lu ko waral yomb gaa waral ree gi dafa yomb lool moo tax ngay ree kër gaa ngi nii dara seeru fi Beko di brand boo xam ne indi lañ leen ko fii ci réewi Gambia kana ko indi kër gi waaye itamit pour dem ci office rek ñu kóot la ba nga ne nekk tay la ba nga ne nag office furniture dañu am design boo xam ne dañ la koy defal ba mu mit nag sa corporate image brand dama ne kër gi daal moo ëpp lépp kër gi daal moo am lépp kër gi daal lépp loo soxla moo lu waral ree ji yomb jee tax ngay ree du waxoon naa la ko fii dara seeru fi yaa ngi dem ba baay di nga dellu si waat kër gi di nga dellu si waat ci kër gi.
But yeah, I think we have had very fruitful discussions. This is the first time to have you here, and I'm very happy that we have this comprehensive discussion. We know now who Dr. Ceesay is. We've heard things about you that we didn't know before, your background, your upbringing, and how that inspired you to become the person that you have become.
Finally, Doctor, ibe mo lefola Gambia no le mbe jibe la ñu wato.
Men kumara nga ñaato jube. Be Gambia banko ikamin do ko bi ika wala bulu sama andam bi kol kata nyamen amantara ta kanko nyaaju be fang na nkanyo fang engage nyamen dibeto bi nendiro le siata chocho siata diamo siata do koti ani mirodi andam miro le ka banko samba ko miro le ka fiero fina o fiero wala ka banko samba bin tolla banko na kacha banyake monte banko samba la nyaato nyaadi mais l'hôpital de la kula nyaadi le karambongol silol bi nyaaju be bi balu koleata house rent seleta by 100%. And you can find ko 6 months wala 1 year jo dani be bungo fongo dile la mo problem mo solve la nyaadi le na silo fele data traffic ko akita le 1 hour ka traffic light for turntable mbe wo silo hera nyaadi le pour mo stano do ko la tarinke dindi ngo fele be tinyaka banen road rank saate kono social media abeti hatale because akamol konindile bari kanyo kaja fije nyamen kanyo den nyam wole fana nyanda katala sakana alfal okumata bakele obuka banko samba nganyo kala muta mbenga ke bakele fakelenti mbenga lon ko bimbe mo kilinati Gambia nga wala soto de because bininga ku ke mi alon ko le Gambia malala bita tumara kala wandi yale do bita Mali do Guinea Bissau do Senegal iten kundi la fam isen doya nsi daraje horomanta ya kono anen kul mi alon kate diala nye odon kana jutu ngamin soto bi sada jawara anala kafo mol nsa fo ka mas skyscraper lon si song nsa fo ka mana ballon si sama university long bay Cairo yo sabatindi banko kanne ando Cairo san don danta ka wala ta san ngaji ko ngab nani skyscraper loji ani silol ni krambol baro Cairo min tujang ni ngawta ngo fanam fay bulo ko ngatinya ube kelam bela masi bolati wala na kumatale nkanyo yamari nkakacha nyoye ngaji ko mbenga Gambia la je nganyina siola amon kumaya nganyina dino la nganyina mbadi ni be kumatale ning awato sel ko kumaya banara pour Gambia ta nyato amman nafa soto je al nga jube jumale do ko no nga do ko nyin diala al nga mu yana ka ko kendo reke nga faye ko kendo le bara me alon ka ma ke ku nga fa ko ke ma ke ku de horomo kono inyanda ka ke tenne banin kasi somonda ko suto odel be dala Facebook ga folbe kala kanyo neng somonda ko suto kanyo kajafi kanyo la wulula neng ka banko samba akati nyaro drone ke so kuma tele pour gamno le wolon ko gambe mo mbela Gambia la de mbela responsible pour ngado ko mo de wala Gambia mil be kana Gambia bi mana Gambia do ko ena jindro pour ya soto ya samba banko kam sa kuma tele ngoke funding kel be danela dole ta mu Gambia ti e wuli do ko ke masakunda nyata do ko la be dol fana e wuli yakata ni masakunda manna dole opportunity sol bi dile ifana yakata fo janding masakunda be soto la mi alon ko abela ko jubila le e do ko dila
barka bake Dr. Ceesay barka bake nyima ka cha diata ka cha fanuta atol mbe jibero la soko no njikita ko aliyalo ne jomalon Dr. Ceesay ti njikita lo fanan ko aliyalo ne ala silo muneti abe patio min kono CAB lota muneka makuma ya tabake otombalte ntulo mbalde la fo next week inshallah njikita ko ngamira Halifa Sallah mbole jala jang inshallah na nimman fili Halifa Sallah be kala luntangoti next week otombalte ntulo mbaje la Dr. barka bake nyima barka bake good night to you all bye bye